Hey, all you Golemancers out there, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying thanks for dropping by. It's been a very busy time in the last 2 weeks. Lots of things going on in Golem Overlord and Splinterlands. And this topic for this video is going to be the new roadmap for Golem Overlord. But I want to preface it by saying that today, yesterday/today, there were some changes made in the game that were basically to tone down the amount of shard that people who are multi-accounting are bringing in. Now, I suspected from overall play that people who were multi-accounting were drawing in a lot of shard, but I wasn't privy to the huge amounts that they were bringing in. So with that said, it apparently was on Yixn's radar that something needed to change. So let me stop for a minute and just say one thing, because there's a lot of people that were unhappy about this change, and I can see both sides of the fence. But I want to say that Yixn is still stands by the statement that this game is still in alpha or early access. He's always said that things, if you play Golem Overlord, expect things to change fast and furious. And, you know, that's part of the reason why I haven't thrown a ton of money into it. Not that I spend like huge amounts of money, but the fact that things change so rapidly. Now, I will say that for the most part, most of the things I feel have served to improve his game, right? So we'll just leave it with that. But we'll go ahead and say that we'll go ahead into his statement. I have the Discord statement up here from yesterday. And he goes on to say that terms of service will be changed, that you have to have one Discord connection for all of your accounts or you might get banned. He's going to pool together all of your accounts. This is people who have multi-accounts, right? He's pulling together all the accounts for the users of different things. Only the highest account in the pool is going to be able to claim shard. And this is another big item here, is that he's thinking about upping the comp percentage for the lower accounts in the account pool. So that means that if you have multiple accounts, not only are the rest of your accounts besides your main account not going to be able to collect shard, the rest of the accounts will have a higher percentage of comp versus part. Okay, so in the terms of service, or when he came out and he made the statement about it in the white paper, he didn't say that multi-accounts was banned, but he said it was discouraged. So this is going towards that, and obviously he's trying to change the game so things don't get too out of balance. Now, it's here or there. There are arguments on both sides, but I will go back to the statement that this game is still in alpha. Okay, so with that said, those are the two big changes that happened today, and he gives some examples here. And he goes on to say that the comp percentage now gets higher the lower it is compared to your other accounts, up to 90% comp. So that means that theoretically, I guess if you have enough multi-accounts, enough multiple accounts, those multiple accounts could possibly be gathering 90% comp instead of part. So obviously there's a range and scale, and it remains to be seen. I don't have any personal examples because I only have one account. The items in this game to play the game are of such price that I did not want to go to that expense. I felt that sticking with one account, I might be able to equip my one account rather decently versus spreading thin. But I can see if you went the other way and you kind of went with multiple accounts, you've been able to draw in a lot of shard at this point. So yeah, okay. So the main point of this video is going over the roadmap that he released. Okay, so Yixn released this last week, 6 days ago. And there's been so much going on in Splinterlands and everything that I've been remiss, but I wanted to be able to read through it a couple times and kind of digest everything and then sit down. And I'm not going to sit here and read through it. I will leave the link in the show notes if you want to go back and read through everything, if you haven't read it already. But I did want to go through each section and briefly and give my comments on each. So let's go ahead and jump in. And he outlines the 9 sections of the midterm roadmap, which I won't go through right now because we're going to hit each one. And then he highlights what's been done recently. Now, I will say, whether it turns you off or it turns you on, he's made a lot of changes to the game, and he's been working fast and furious. And to me, I mean, I think the game's gotten better. It's gotten a lot more expensive to play, but it's, there's more features, and the way he's rolling after you see all the items he'll be working on. And, these items making this list means that he's already thought about it, and in probably a lot of cases has already thought through the process of how he's going to make it happen. So, and it was nice because he went into here and he rated them on the complexity. So, the easier stuff is probably going to get done sooner, depending upon how he weights it. Okay, the first item on his list is the dynamic event system. Introducing a dynamic system that will periodically introduce new elements to the game. So he's going to change things up. It's nice in games. I mean, you have to keep games a little bit fresh so people won't get tired of playing them. I think that's the main takeaway there. So his examples are short-lived claim, bountiful stash, swift claim cooldown, power play, basically changing one facet of the game at a time to kind of change it up for you. Okay? Moderate complexity, 2 dots out of, I think, 5. So the next item is the Forged Sigil Claim Pass, which I think we already have under the name of Blacksmith, but he may be, maybe a different phrasing. Gain a head start in mastering the art of forging. The Forged Sigil Claim Pass is designed to provide players with early access to valuable forged sigils. So, I think my statement, these claim passes, I don't know. I think there are people that are putting the claim passes to good use, but to me, they're just quite expensive. So with that said, I think that, I think they're talking about the Blacksmith's claim pass here. He may be talking about something different, maybe something totally different than this though. But either way, I still haven't taken up one of the claim passes just due to the full expense, right? But that is on his roadmap. Number 3, content creator system. That kind of hits home with me. He did briefly mention this to me. We talked about it maybe a week ago. He mentioned it, asked me if I'd be interested in it. So basically, it's just a way for him to get a little advertising, right? So word of mouth, anybody posts videos, posts articles on Hive or on various social media and stuff, get the word out. So he passed that by everybody, and at least he's looking into getting the word out there because we need more people to play the game, right? So he's got that on the roadmap. Avatar and title NFTs. Navigating the realm of Golem Overlord is about to get a personal touch when introducing avatar and title NFTs to help players make a unique mark in the game. Now, what I've noticed is that a lot of things in the game are purely visual, as far as improving your looks, improving your background, and things like that. Now, most of the backgrounds do have bonuses, but there are some that don't. And there are some NFTs that are your advisors that don't have stats and stuff. So in this list, I see several different things which are purely to spruce up your account, make your character look better, give a different title that everybody doesn't have so you can wear that, a different background, things of this nature. Going back to my statement, I've said this several times, I don't really... I'm not the guy that goes out and buys that extra cool set of armor just to look cool. If I buy something in game, I want it to have a monetary value and I want it to mean something to me. Like, for example, this last week I went out and I went on the market and I improved the quality of my background. Why? To increase the percentage of my shard chance. I did end up getting a crate that had one of those nice moving backgrounds in it, and I agree, it looks cool. Excellent work, Yixn. But I wouldn't go out and buy that specifically if it didn't have a bonus or a buff to it. But with that said, he's got avatar and title NFTs coming out, and we will see where that goes. Inventory and market bulk update. So basically in this section, he goes over that the inventory and the market that he's put in place is rather basic. It's still working, but he needs to, it's on his list to improve the experience, right? For bulk buying and enhanced mass dismantle, bulk use, break entanglement, which if you're not familiar with the terminology, in this game, entanglement is much like the term soulbound. So a lot of these cards, once you go ahead and you see what you have, like say for instance, you pull something out of a crate and you verify what you have by spending money or spending part or shard. I forget, it's shard, I think. Then once you do that and you it's basically soulbound or entangled. Okay, now to be able to sell that on the market, you have to unentangle it, which is another charge. So there's all kinds of burns and mechanisms. He's putting a lot of thought into it. I'll give it to him. A lot of this stuff probably would have escaped me, but he's put a lot of thought into it. But at a certain point, it kind of maybe feels a little bit of expensive to me. So I will say that, kind of getting out on a tangent here, make sure you know exactly what you want to activate and put on your character, and what you want to improve upon using the various methods in the game now to improve those items. Because once you do, it's a significant charge to do so, and then it's a significant charge on the backside if you want to unentangle that item. So you have to keep that in mind. Next item, tutorial system and daily quests. Okay, this really piqued my interest because obviously most games, every game I've ever played could benefit from a tutorial system. Now, the trick is to make the tutorial just long enough to be interesting and teach all the basics of the game without being too burdensome, right? Without making people want to just skip through it, right? So he goes through here and he lists basically some examples of what the tutorial would be, giving a little comp out instead, and allowing people to start playing the game without having to buy the staff. Obviously, you would only get very small comp rewards, and you wouldn't get any, shard or part if you hadn't bought into the game, right? But it gets them in, lets them taste the game, lets them play a little bit, like most games let you do these days. Sort of the free-to-play portion. And then he mentions that daily quests are an idea that he likes. Okay, so we're all familiar with dailies. Once again, dailies are a double-edged sword, okay, because dailies can take a fun game and make it into a job. But having some dailies would help out, especially if there's some kind of reward to them as far as part, shard, bonuses, what have you, right? So that's why you would do a daily quest, right? So. And number 7, Relic Radar. This is a big topic that he's mentioned several times. However, I hadn't gotten a whole lot of information on it. But it's the idea of exploring basically for NFTs. Okay, and he goes through in this section and he lists that every hour you have the potential to find an NFT, right? And he lists several ideas. Obviously, it's not set in stone. He's still working on it. But depending upon the strength of your account and some other items, you have a higher percentage chance of finding a relic. Now, once you do, it's not necessarily yours, right? So at that point, once again, another shard fee. You pay the shard fee to get the relic, right? And he didn't really say what they were going to be, but he also lists in this list of items that he is looking towards adding more slots to equip, instead of just having the standard 3 slots we have now. There are going to be more, so we could look forward, might have some different other type of equipment that might kind of fall into the same the same way we are going into increasing the stats on different items, and all the burn mechanisms involved and things like that we talked about on the last few videos. So either way, that is still to be seen, but he's looking forward to that, and that's on his list of to-do items. Now, the next item is refining shard generation in the prestige system. Now, I almost did just a full separate video, a short video on the prestige system, because this was a big question that I've had several people ask me over the last few weeks. Now, currently, the prestige system goes up to 10, okay? Well, it goes higher. It goes as high as you want. After 9, it's quickly into diminishing returns. In other words, you start only getting 1% extra claim, and you don't get any extra buff percentages or any of that. So this is something that's been talked about for quite a while. But at this point in time, there's a lot of people that go ahead and they're continuing to put burn into it to increase because of this. Yixn has said that it's on his list of things to do, and he has made the statement that it's going to be worth going ahead and prestiging above 9, to the 10 and way up there. There's a lot of people I talked to on Discord, got their opinion on, and they're way above, 15, 17, 20, whatever. But it also increasingly gets more expensive the higher you get to get, at this point, just that 1 extra % of claim, right? But going back to his statement saying that it's going to be worth it in the future. Remains to be seen, but take it for what it's worth. But with this item, they're going to refine the shard generation because his statement is that, and I can back this up, we're getting very few shards, very little shards. And just from my perspective, from trying to level my guild lately, it's just a huge amount of shards compared to what's drawn in from even just the guild, given percentage, right? So they're going to rework those. Now, the next item, the Golem Assistant Quality of Life subscription. I think that most games try to slip this in, get a subscription, get that software as a service fee, steady money coming in. It's a good idea for a game. Would I partake in it? I don't know. I'd have to wait until he irons it out and sees exactly, what's included in the subscription. There's some games I subscribe to, some I don't. So if I see value in it, I might. So, but it's a basic software as a service kind of platform idea. Keep a steady money rolling in while the other sporadic money, people buying crates and stuff like that. So, next item, achievements, maybe. This is a big one. I think achievements, especially, I think Blizzard has proven that putting achievements in game keeps people in game, because there's some people in games that are just I don't want to say just there for the achievement, but having that list of achievements to get through draws them back and keeps them coming back. So I would agree that it would be a good thing to have in the game. There would have to be some kind of awards, something, a title or something like that for the achievements or whatever. But I think it would be a good addition to the game. New cosmetic crate for Shard. Of course, he's going to have to keep coming out as crates go away. He's going to have to come up with some new crates to keep drawing. I'm guessing that's his primary source of money coming in. So new kinds of crates, cosmetic crates, though. Once again, I don't know. There are a lot of people that bought a lot of those crates, but I won't. If it's all just cosmetic, I probably won't be buying them. There's got to be a benefit on my from my play for me to pay money for it. So, Expedition. Prepare to embark on a journey like no other and introduce the Expedition, a massive roguelite game mode coming to Golem Overlord. Okay, so we've talked about this before. This is what I'm looking forward to. Okay, much like a few of the other Hive blockchain games we've played lately, they've introduced things like this, game modes like this. I'm thinking specifically Splinter Forge. It'll be great. I mean, if you take a game such as Golem Overlord and add several different ways to play the game, it just keeps people in the game longer, keeps people spending money on the game, different items within the game, because, playing Expedition is going to be much different than just the standard game, right? So remains to be seen, but looks good, and he's got it rated 5 complexity and 5 time commitment. So another way that he's going to change up gameplay or add a new way to play the game is Golem PvP. So this kind of seems like one-on-one Golem warfare type thing. And once again, fully NFT powered, and he brings in another burn mechanism, leveling through sacrifice, sacrificing lower level golems to get higher, to increase your main golem strength and, stats and such. Augment customization, auto chess dynamics, engage in a tactical match format that mirrors the strategy of auto chess games. This sounds interesting to me. I don't know. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around exactly what that means. Obviously, I know what chess is, auto chess, but it remains to be seen. But I'm all for new modes of gameplay. The more modes of gameplay that go into the game, and they have to be good. I mean, they have to be fun. Otherwise, he's going to spend a lot of time on something and nobody will play it, right? So obviously, he's trying to flesh out the game, add more things to the game, so more people will come in, grab new players, as well as keep the current base of players playing and spending money, right? So filling in the gaps. And then he goes over a list of smaller upgrades and features that all seem to be very, will help the game out, will increase the quality of the game. So I'll leave that there. No need to read through that long list, but all of them are nice things to have for the game. So with that said, I think we've covered more than enough, but it was a long list, but I wanted to go through it. Go ahead and leave in the comments what you think about this list. I think he's headed in a good direction. He is guilty of dropping a lot of new stuff at one time and making massive changes on the flip of a coin, or not the flip of the coin, the drop of the hat. You turn around, he's on a different time zone than I am, so every time I wake up, I'm wondering, okay, what's changed in the game today? Either way, hey, if you like this type of coverage, please leave me a like and think about subscribing. Otherwise, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I will see you on the flip side.